Deja, thank you. It's 6:32 this morning, and new this morning, you may be getting ready to head to work. And if your commute includes 69 Highway and Overland Park, you know to expect traffic. It is the busiest four-lane highway in the entire state of Kansas. In a story you will only see here this morning, we went for a morning rush hour ride with Overland Park Mayor Carl Gerlach to talk about the options, including adding tolled express lanes to make that drive move just a little bit faster. So we're getting back northbound now and obviously starting to slow down. These are these 7,000 cars you're talking about during peak hours.
We're down to under 25 miles an hour on the highway.
Heading northbound on 69 Highway, we hit several slow spots during our ride with Overland Park Mayor Carl Gerlach. Those who live in the city know those spots well.
Please do something about it.
Gerlach called the expansion of 69 Highway the city's top priority in his 2020 State of the City address, with the Kansas Secretary of Transportation joining him on stage.
It gets a grade of an F today.
An F grade doesn't happen overnight. 10 years ago, when Kansas began its current road improvement plan, called T-Works, KDOT says 69 Highway had a D grade. But the highway wasn't on the list of projects covered under that bill. Now, the state's new transportation program is likely to include 69. But that program hasn't passed yet. Gerlach says the waiting game could be a threat to OP.
We don't want them to have to say, I don't want to move, but I have to because of traffic. That's what we're trying to stop.
The plan to fix 69 Highway is massive, a projected $300 million price tag. Adding tolls is one possible option to help finance the project.
It's something called express lanes. An express lane can be what you want it to be. It's a lane that expands the capacity of the highway and manages the congestion of the lane through tolling.
Drivers could have the option of using Kansas's first express lane on 69. Overland Park's city engineer, Lorraine Basalo.
But likely they would be in the inner lanes. And what it really is turns out to be a choice that residents can make on whether or not they want to use those express lanes to decrease their travel time.
Go fast, right?
Right, be able to have free flow conditions.
Overland Park used Colorado's express lanes as an example of what 69 Highway could eventually include. We did too. Colorado has an express lane on US Highway 36 between Denver and Boulder. Much like OP in Kansas City, that highway has thousands of people commuting for work. Colorado's Department of Transportation says that traffic on all lanes of that highway is moving 20 to 29% faster than it did before the express lane was built. Lindsay Douglas is the Deputy Secretary of KDOT.
I drive that corridor every day, and one day when I was stopped in traffic, I kind of leaned over to the center and took a picture and thought, I'd pay a toll to get out of this.
Douglas says under the proposed state transportation plan, cities have options about how and if they want to contribute funds to a project. An express lane could mean 69 sees improvement much faster, and all the money from that lane stays in that lane.
But if Overland Park is looking at potentially an express lane as their contribution to the project, there wouldn't be any needed sort of upfront investment. They would get credit for that toll once the facility is open, and it kind of can go to paying down the construction for that project.
Gerlach stresses adding toll lanes to 69 Highway isn't the only option, and if people don't want it, the city won't push for it. But, he says, Overland Park can't afford to see what a grade lower than F looks like.
In the next 20 years, the traffic's going to double, and the speeds are going to slow down 3 times slower than they are now. And those are the results that we're trying to stop from happening.
So the first feasibility study, which KDOT described as a back-of-the-envelope type calculation, will be presented at the OP City Council meeting on Monday the 16th. That's coming up next week. Based on that meeting, the city could call for a second, much more detailed study, which would take maybe 12 to 18 months to complete. Now, we mentioned OP using express lanes in Colorado as an example. You can see behind me here, there are actually 11 states nationwide that use express lanes. North Carolina is the most recent to do so. So if Overland Park was to adopt express toll lanes on US 69, here's an idea of how it might work. Toll signs would show the current prices for express lane drivers as you enter. Those prices would vary based on the level of congestion. There would be specific entry and exit points for the express lane, so drivers can't just merge onto it whenever they wish. And KDOT would likely use tolling technology to record trips and collect tolls through a KDOT account. Now, a few weeks ago, OP City Council, some of the members there held a forum on this possible expansion. Some residents told us they wouldn't mind this being added.
I was probably in the minority. I don't have a big issue with express lanes. I think the people that use them would pay for them. instead of taxing everyone in the city who may not use those express lanes to pay for it. I travel 69 probably once or twice every day, and I'm retired. I don't even work. And I just have to make sure I time my trips on 69 to when there won't be traffic.
She was one of several people at that meeting. A lot of people, though, expressing frustration with the idea. So what do you think about adding an express lane on 69? I tweeted out this morning asking you for your opinion. So far right now, with almost 100 votes, I'm going to just put this a no for. We're at 54% almost on no to show you what's going on, with my vote included. And that was just as an example. So right now, 54 to 46 people saying no, they'd prefer to not have an express lane added to 69 highway.